I'm Toddleen Daffrelin, and here's a Sun TV News Alert. Two top TCI lawyers, Tim O'Sullivan and Gordon Kerr, were found not guilty of 3 corruption charges by a jury of 4 women and 3 men on Thursday, July 2nd. There was loud applause in the packed courtroom when High Court Judge Robert Shuster told the 2 lawyers they were free to go just before 12 noon. Minutes later in the courtyard, there was a big celebration with friends, family, and colleagues of the 2 lawyers dancing, singing, shouting, and clapping because of what was a huge victory for the defense and devastating blow to the prosecution, which was led by top UK lawyer Andrew Mitchell QC. O'Sullivan and Kerr were charged with cheating the government of millions of dollars in stamp duty from the sale of Emerald Key, which is a private island estate just off Chalk Sound and Scilly Creek. Sun TV spoke with both lawyers, their attorney, and colleagues, and here's what they had to say.
Well, I'm obviously very relieved that the jury eventually vindicated our position, which has been all along that we were not guilty. I really don't want to say any more than that at the moment. It's a very emotional time, and we'll consider a prepared statement and pass it out to the press, okay? Thanks.
Obviously Mr. O'Sullivan's very relieved that the jury of belongers have come to the right verdict. He'd like to thank all his friends, colleagues, and particularly the staff at Miller Simons O'Sullivan for supporting him through what's been a very difficult 3.5 years, and he just needs to let this sink in now, and there won't be anything else to say until he's had a moment of reflection.
It was a waste of money all round. That's what it was.
People are calling this a precedent case, a landmark case, in that it sets the tone for future trials that are to come from the Special Investigation Prosecution Team. What do you say to that?
Well, let me say first of all, let me pay tribute to the judicial system in the TCI, because a lot of arrows have been fired in that direction in the past. And I must say that this jury, in a very complicated stamp duty matter, weeded its way through those complications and came to the right decision. And I think that is something that we should all be proud of. As to a landmark case, I don't know. I think this was the right decision in this case. And although we made, the defendants made no case submissions after the prosecution closed, and the judge, we were a bit disappointed when the judge declined to uphold those submissions. But we are very happy, very, very happy that the final decision in this case came from the right people, the jury.
It has to be remembered that this is an investigation that was properly commenced. It was commenced because when the government succeeded in recovering the unpaid stamp duty in the civil proceedings, Justice Martin expressed concern about the conduct of Messrs. Kerr and O'Sullivan and described what had happened as a clear case of tax evasion. There was a proper and full investigation. No argument was raised at the sufficiency hearing that there wasn't a case to answer. And this judge also decided, after hearing full argument, that there was a case to go to the jury. That's what we did. There's been an independent investigation and a proper consideration of all the evidence. This was a case that was properly brought on good and sufficient evidence, and the jury have done what they do in every proper jurisdiction, which is to return a verdict according to the evidence. And that's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm Toddleen Daffrelin, and thanks for watching this edition of Sun TV News.